Diane, I'm listening to a podcast, Black Lodge Trivia Night. I've never heard so many game aspirations in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. But equally as important, welcome back, Patrick.
Sup?
And welcome back, citizens of Otari. We're here to save you.
I can't wait, for there to be a bunch of, kobolds running the town, and, it's gonna be great. I'm sorry, or is that hidden information at this point?
I don't know. Why don't you give me a recall knowledge check, and I'll let you know what you know about Otari at this time.
Nope. It's like when Frodo goes into the Palantir and sees the Shire burning, except we did it for real.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar, go back to Menace under Otari and see what happened last time. Tonight we begin anew. A new birth, a new beginning for the story of Otari. But I think we have some... Should I just spill the news even though we're 3 months early and it may not even actually happen?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we've all agreed through my constant hints, suggestions, requests for validation that you guys don't always pick up on. I think we've agreed to play Kingmaker.
Nice.
Did
Pathfinder
we?
Kingmaker.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
we're not going to play the Avalon Hill game, Kingmaker?
No, and we're not playing the video game either. Lots of Kingmakers out there. But we're doing the 2E remaster of Kingmaker.
Did they remaster it? Did they do it all?
Yeah,
up front?
actually what's interesting is so 2E has things like lore. And I mean, Kingmaker is, it's got this great reputation, but my understanding is all mechanically driven.
Right.
And so they fleshed out the lore. The one thing that is not fleshed out is the kingdom building. So we'll figure out how that goes when we work. I was reading something today that Paizo basically came out and said, yeah, we didn't have time to play test the kingdom building rules. So,
Oh,
but the actual adventure path is should be solid.
cool. Very
So,
nice.
anyways,
I'm really looking forward to that.
It's going to be great.
yes, the more time I spend with Pathfinder, I don't know if I've said this or not, but I think this is a pretty fine. It's decent. It's a decent system.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
decent.
It's,
Well, it is fine. Well, that's the thing, because we say we're committing to the real commitment, though, is sort of on your shoulders, because if you're the one running it, that's something to run. That's epic.
Yeah.
don't talk me out of it.
I know, it's and then it's the one for the rest of your life. I mean, just one. You don't even have to worry about and then all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I can't breathe. What were we saying?
Let's just say, at best we would play 24 times a year. Well, that's not going to happen. Let's just say we play 18 times a year. And there was...
Oh,
it's going to take us 11 years.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, we've already talked about if we go a lot of things are happening in 11 years. This campaign,
Take us 11.
all my
fucking-
PDFs. 11 comes up a lot, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be fun to... I think it's good that we're giving it the old college try, at least. I'm really excited about that.
Well, I think we can also streamline some stuff. We could do some of the kingdom building offline
That's true, yeah.
and then do recaps, right?
Yeah.
Because some of that stuff is so mechanical. And the hex crawling, we can kind of know what you're doing because it's got a lot of hex crawl, random encounters as you develop your kingdom. Some of that stuff can be expedited and streamlined, and so that'll be the challenge. That'll be the real prep, because Paizo has developed an outstanding Foundry module, and so a lot of the actual prep work is done. You got to bring in some battle maps for some of the random encounters, things like that. The real work for the GM is reading the fucking book that's massive, and then 2, how to make it work in a playable thing, right?
Do you need to know the whole book, or can you digest it in chunks? This is the part we're dealing with now, or do you really need to know the overall arc to sort of?
I don't want to spoil why.
Okay.
What I've been reading is you want to know the whole arc to make it more cohesive, to make some of the ties to the overall story a little bit stronger, meaning like they could have done a little bit more connective tissue, is what I've gathered, without being like too spoilerific.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So,
Very
anyway,
yeah, looking forward to that.
me as well. I think Patrick's to blame. I think he's the one that said, let's do it.
I mean, I'm here like in spirit most of the time. So, I mean, we might as well just go whole hog, balls to the wall, right? So,
Yeah. But we should tell people like the rotation's not going away. Like the
Right.
general setup is not changing. But this
And
will
we'll
be,
have to take breaks.
yeah.
Right. Like the most we would play Kingmakers twice a month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then even then, it's got like 4 books, I think, in it. Whatever the book division is, like once we hit a stopping point, there will be like, I'm going to need Kingmaker breaks just as the honking level on something else rises. Like I'm going to need to experience the honk.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and you guys obviously have stuff you want to do as well. And I want to experience.
Yes. Yep.
Anyways, it's enough about that. I just wanted to get out of the way because I'm very excited. I like a super busy day at work today, and all I could think about was freaking Kingmaker.
Very nice. That is awesome. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit.
Good. All right.
Yeah. Anyway,
So we got some business before we start playing.
we do.
We do.
Are you guys ready?
Patrick, you got the question tonight?
I do
Yeah.
actually. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. What 2 roads? I'm sorry. Just for the listeners, if this is your first time, we always lead off with a little bit of Twin Peaks trivia just to start off and have our namesake, the Black Lodge, from Black Lodge Trivia Night and Twin Peaks, blah, blah, blah. What 2 roads intersect with the wind-tossed traffic light that is famously associated with the show?
Patrick, are you fucking with us? Is this your trivia question, or are you fucking with us?
This is my trivia question.
I know, but are you messing with me?
I mean, am I?
I don't know. Are you? I can't. Are you messing with me, or is this really a legit trivia
This is
question?
a legit question.
Do you know what Art asked me last time?
Last week.
Last week, I guess you haven't heard. The episode isn't out on YouTube yet.
No,
You
it's
know
not
what
out.
Art-
It's not out yet. It goes
This is amazing.
21 in Sparkwood.
Wow. Wow.
Did you guys trip this? Like, are you guys doing this to like mess with me? It's like, hey guys, you know what'd be funny is like if we asked Matt the same trivia question.
No, I didn't know he was gonna have a question.
I thought he was kidding around when he said he had one. I
was
thought there's
joking,
no.
too.
Oh man, here comes a bit. What's the name of lobster pot? What?
No, I had one today.
Oh,
Wow. All right.
awesome.
That's a wrap, everybody. We'll see you next week.
yeah. You know what? We don't even need to play Kingmaker now. We can't top that ever.
Should we just wrap this up? Was that really? You're not messing with us,
No,
right?
that was, I just pulled it up.
I was gonna say you watched the episode, but it's not out yet.
No, I literally just pulled it up.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
That's Hollywood, baby.
Wow.
That's showbiz. Woo.
That's doing it live.
I don't know if we can. We really. Wow. My God. That's it. That was not planned. How did
All
I
right.
pick that out of the
Simply
random
amazing.
list of questions? Anyway,
Really quite impressive.
That's crazy. Oh, nicely done.
Wow.
Art,
Wow, wow,
Art,
wow.
what's your question, bud?
Should I ask a question?
No, we're good. I mean, like
I
we
feel like
have
we covered a question.
But yeah, I think we're good.
It's Sparkwood in 21, just so you guys know.
Yeah. Art knows. I do not.
Right. When I asked the question, I said, "What was the name of the other road besides 21?"
Oh.
And I was sitting there because like I didn't recall when I looked up the answer, but as soon as I read it, I was like, "That feels so familiar." Like somewhere I knew that deep in my recesses, but yeah. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Anyway,
Absolutely stunning.
I mean,
Last time.
oh God, here we go.
No, last time. It was a short recap. The party died.
No.
Also, a good reminder that we have these things called hero points. Let's not be afraid to use them. I should have
Oh,
reminded you
right.
last time, but like, don't forget you can spend a hero point to reroll a d20, a check. So, probably.
and
just
sorry,
save
can we
taking-
use it to make you re-roll against us, or is it just something that we roll?
No, I don't believe so. I believe it's when you make a check, and there's one other circumstance. I don't believe you can make me reroll something.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so here we go. a new adventuring party making their way to Otari. And where we start is aboard the Locust, a seafaring vessel that has been at sea for, I don't know, probably at least several weeks by now, and is arriving at the port of Otari. Perhaps it's out in the bay. It's the night before they dock. But on the deck of the Locust, bathed in the glow of the setting sun, a figure moves with fluid grace amidst the creaking of the old wooden vessel. The air around her responds to her movement, swirling and dancing in intricate patterns, flowing through her vibrant and shocking blue hair. She dips her hand over the deck railing, catching sea foam and flicking it up as water joins the dance around her. And with a powerful flourish of her hands, it is as if a powerful gust has been summoned, sending loose papers and ropes swirling through the air, bringing the sails taut, causing the ship to lurch forward. The wind whips around her, carrying the scent of salt as the wind rushes across the deck. Meanwhile, high above in the crow's nest, the wind whips around a dark figure who appears lost in his own thoughts, gazing rather sorrowfully at the endless expanse of the sea. Under his black hood, which is pulled up, his hair lies in unkempt strands around his face. His eyes are filled with a distant melancholy. Perhaps he's writing a poem, pondering the mysteries of nature, or weighing the cruel injustice of this dark, unfair world. The gust grows stronger, the ship begins to sway dangerously, and all of a sudden, the door to the captain's quarter bursts open. Oi! What in blazes you think you're doing? The captain, a grizzled old seafarer named Captain Briggs, bursts out of his quarters in a fury, roaring as he strides across the deck. You're gonna get us killed! Have you lost your damn mind? The woman figure stops in mid-motion, caught by surprise, her eyes wide, and I'm sorry, Captain, she stammered, her voice barely audible over the wind. Before she could even finish her apology, Captain Briggs turns his attention skyward to the figure still perched in the crow's nest, who seemingly is oblivious to the chaos unfolding below. And you, sad sack, get down from there before you break your bloody neck. We don't have time for your brooding nonsense. Hello. Nice pull. Nice callback. Down below in the crew quarters, a man, well, not a man, a frog, frantically rummages through his belongings. His usually serene demeanor replaced by a look of panic. Papers are strewn across the floor, clothes tossed haphazardly as he searches for something. What does Morogu sound like, by the way?
Kermit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, stars, where is it?
Oh no, where did it go?
Can't do Kermit. Yeah. His hands shaking as he continues his frenzied search. And right on cue, a wiry man with a mischievous glint in his eye enters the crew quarters, holding a full bottle of grog in his hand, and he shakes a set of dice in his other. Ah, hey there, Morogu. Sly grin spreads across his face. What's the matter? Lose something? And he plops the full bottle of grog down in front of you. How about a game of chance to quench your thirst? Morogu's eyes light up, a little suspicious of where a full bottle of grog came from, but he nods eagerly. And as he picks up the grog to examine it, light suddenly floods the crew quarters. Oh, what's going on here? The booming voice of the ship's gunner, Grogan Barlmead, demands as it booms through the lower hold. Before anyone can respond, he notices the bottle of grog in Morogu's hand, his eyes narrowing in angry suspicion. Is that my grog? The gunner growls, his fists clenched at his sides. We wake the next morning to find the three of our characters in the stockades. It's hot. The sun is beating down. We're thirsty. And we watch as every other single member of the crew disembarks before us. We have finally made it to Otari, but we are hot, we are sunbaked, and we are the very last to disembark from the Locust.
So Sardis, that's my character. He's a little brooding. The hood is sort of pulled back just a little bit because they didn't do me the courtesy of keeping the hood at full cool when they put me in the stockade. And I just turn over to, sorry, Patrick, how do you say it? Marugu?
Marugu, yeah.
Marugu. And so I just turn to Marugu and I'm just like, first time?
No.
I can't. I love it. I should add that, like, we all know each other. Like, so yeah, like that's probably like just for ease. Like, you're probably just fucking with Marugu.
Yeah.
Marugu.
Sardis, you put me here last time.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, yes, true. But I'm working on myself, and I'd like to believe that I'm a changed elf.
And Farah, who's like unfazed by all of this, is just like, I cannot believe we are finally in Otari. Like, she's just like cool with just being here, and like she's just eager. Eventually the captain comes along and he's like, no need re-upping when we leave port. Here's your pay. I never want to see the three of you again.
And Sardis sort of looks and accepts and said, well, then I guess it's time we try and find a new home here. Whatever here is.
Sardis, we'll be okay.
Marugu hops down off of it. Like, he wasn't, his wrists are like this big, like he just slides out. And like, and just like, okay. All right, Captain. We'll get going now. Come on, guys, can't you do that?
And then oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, so like, Farah actually, yes, she can. She's actually like part air elemental, so she's like, oh yeah, she just kind of like glides right through easily.
Right, and then I'm like, am I seriously the only one that's? I just kind of like I don't have it, so I'm just like, oh god, it's like somebody. Could somebody do me the courtesy?
Oh,
Isn't it,
yes.
That's when you
So
turn into a
Farah,
newt or
like,
something, right?
Yeah, like I wish for all the power in the world for the rest of my life, and then you die a minute later.
Yeah.
So Sardis, like, you know, rubs. He's probably been in there for like 10 minutes, but still he's doing the wrist rub.
Oh no, all morning.
Oh,
all
okay.
morning. It's like you guys have baked in the sun.
Okay.
Like you are sunburned. I mean, obviously it doesn't affect an air elemental and a frog so much. I mean, Maruga is probably thirsty as all get out, but like we're not like sunburned. But you're like fried, other than your face, because the hood has, of course,
So I got,
blocked
like,
out the sun. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I was about to
right.
say,
So I
just
look
the bottom
ridiculous.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let me pull over.
I'm just like, I start like fumbling through my pockets and I sort of scratch together what I have for change. And I just say, I need a drink.
As you leave the ship, there is a high-pitched voice squeaking out above the crowd. And she kind of, what you hear is, won't anybody help me? Haven't any of you lost anything before? Just think how I feel to lose something like this. Somebody, please. And a lot of people are just walking by her because she's short. You kind of see like the head bobbing up maybe, but you don't really see much. You just hear this high-pitched shrill voice squeaking out over the crowd. I was going to say booming, but that's not appropriate.
Sardis, she lost something.
I know. It's hard not to hear it. Every dog within 2 miles knows that she lost something.
And you see her little like bun, like she's wearing like a high stacked bun, and you see it like kind of walk over to a bench and you finally, the crowd breaks, and you see her, despite what this looks like, very
nice.
sad looking Tamily Tanderville. Of course, you have not met her.
So I'm looking at an NPC gallery that is a gentleman doing.
Oh, whoops!
Give me the hand.
I sent the wrong thing to you.
Carmen.
Hold on.
Carmen's looking hot. Like,
I think I sent the whole kit and caboodle.
I was gonna say you sent it
just
all,
send
baby.
Tamily. Whoops.
I will pretend I did not see this, except in my dreams.
Oh, I don't even know who Carmen is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know why it's in here.
There we go.
There's Tamily. There we
Nice.
so
And as you guys make your way down the dock, like in one desperate plea, I don't even know why I ask, but sirs, ma'am, have you ever lost anything?
like one eye will go her way and be like, "Oh, constantly. I constantly lose things. That's kind of my thing."
And,
Like the other eye will come over.
A look of desperation. Please, I have lost something very near and dear to me.
Oh,
So
go ahead.
Yeah, so Sardis, Sardis's backstory involves the fact that he's been isolated from his family. He knows loss in a different sense, and so he just sort of looks at her, and he probably can see on her face some of the sadness he's felt as he's arrived to this point from where he was, even though it was basically his own fault. He acknowledges that, but and so he just kind of like, almost in that sort of, I kind of have to. And so he walks over to her and he says, "Miss, I've lost things too, so I can appreciate where you're coming from. And if you're willing to tell us what's wrong over drinks and maybe a meal, I'm willing to hear your tale."
Oh, and as a reminder, you all just lost your jobs.
Yeah.
And your crew lodging and probably some kind of stipend. Like, I'm sure you'll get paid. They won't withhold your salary, but like whatever bonus you were going to get, not paid. Oh, really? You mean it? The food part will be tricky, but drinks I can certainly handle. I'm just right down here at the end of the pier.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, and with that, I just kind of turn to the other two, and I'm just like, gotta eat.
Well, she did just say that she doesn't know if she has any food, but I guess we could cross that bridge.
We gotta drink.
Well, actually, there's no bridge to cross. We just need to walk to the end of the pier. Just follow me.
Oh.
And she
Okay.
brings you to the front of the Otari fishery, which is a fishery by day, and perhaps if you knew anything about Otari, you would know that in the past it was one of the most lively night spots of Otari. But as she unlocks the door, you can see that the sign is a little worse for wear. She used to post like a menu of the fresh catch of the day or something like that. That hasn't been updated in weeks. And she opens it up, and the chairs have been stacked on top of the tables, and it's a little gloomy and dusty. Not like months and months of disrepair, but like someone's been letting this slip for a few weeks. And she says, I think the best place would be, why don't you join me at the bar? And she pours some very flat ale from some casks for each of you. And she says, I lost something, and before we progress further, I need to know that you are adventurers that are up for hard and difficult tasks. The pay is good. I pay.
Oh. Well, I don't know if hard and difficult's like up our alley, but I mean, at the very least, like, pay is good.
Yeah, you had me at pay is good. The rest, hey, what comes is all right.
Anything we can half-ass, we can half-ass for pay.
Okay, where should... I hired some adventurers, investigators, retirees to handle a problem for me, and knowing that I could save a buck or two, I hired some individuals well past their prime You see, the reason I can't serve you food is something has been eating all of my stores of fish from below my fishery. And it got to the point where I could stock nothing, and I've had to shut down until I can resolve the problem.
Oh my god, are you saying that the old people are eating the fish?
No, not quite. I
Oh.
think something has eaten the fish, and unfortunately something may have eaten the old people. That's just the two old gentlemen.
Well, old people disappear all the time. Like,
This is true. I feel particularly responsible because I might have misled them by pretending to believe they held themselves out as psychic detectives. And, well, again, seeing that I could save a buck or two, I just couldn't resist myself. And the town guard, they're always so busy, but what I need now is actual real adventurers.
well, we're as real as it gets, and I'll hold up my, like, webbed hand and, like, poke it and be like, see, I'm right here. I'm as real as they get.
Yes. You remind me of my friends. You in particular.
Oh. And, like, one eye will blink, and then the other one. Okay. That's good. I think.
I do have to ask, are you qualified and equipped to handle what... Now, I have no idea what's down there, other than I hope I don't really want to say they're my friends. My independent contractors will be down there, hopefully. So I just want to make sure you understand what you're getting into.
Not really, but, like...
And I'm like, look, we hear your plight, and we are absolutely the right people for the job for the right price.
Great. Here's what I can offer, and she'll come up with some negotiable terms that we can figure out. And you can stay here for a night. I'll give you one free night at the end to get your bearings, get yourself set up here in town, take care of the business you need to. I urge you to please, venture forth as soon as possible. Who knows? Our friends may still be alive down there and may need your help. Also, I would like to open up my doors for business soon. Now, no one really knows about this problem yet, but I needed food to serve. I quickly ran out of cabbages, so...
There's a city where they throw frozen ones at you.
I was about to say, have there been any
It's
parades
all very
lately?
meta.
Yeah, so with that, Sardis looks at the other two, and it's, his sort of approach to everything. Well, we got to sleep somewhere. We got to eat somewhere. He's like, so, yeah, let's take this up, and at least let's get some coin if we need to get out of here. We're not going to get very far with empty pockets.
Well, that's the spirit, and what I'm asking of you is to find what exactly, and this isn't just like a little rat problem, a little mouse problem. This is something serious. This is large amounts of fish. This is stores and stores of fish that have been completely ransacked. And so first and foremost, I'm hiring you to go and examine that. And it's just added benefit if you're able to recover those two gentlemen.
That's good to know. I was about to approach that elephant in the room.
I mean, if necessary, or if you get the opportunity, that's great. I don't think they had any loved ones, so it's,
What percentage counts as recovered?
Oh, good question. Identifiable remains? But your hands will be full, so.
Okay. We'll figure that part out on the day.
Oh, and because we're splicing together 2 episodes, my name's Tamily.
Oh. Hi, Tamily.
My name's
Who am I?
Sardis.
Oh, Sardis. Oh, okay, that's a very gloomy voice. And you are?
I'm Murgu.
And Farah, who's been has been just bouncing around the room and just looking at everything, finally settles in, and she kind of moves really light on her feet. Just, you can call me Farah. So I think at this time, let's introduce our new characters. And let's start with Art, since Art went last time.
Yeah.
And then we'll actually get into the root of the adventure.
Yeah,
what are you playing? What are your class? What's your background? What's the backstory?
Yeah, so I'm, again, depending on what comes in from the last one, again, I'm a human druid. I hail from the area of Sarkonis Scar, and I come from a druid clan that was sort of trying to restore that area to its natural state, rid the evil that's taken hold there in the Scar. But I wasn't ready to take on that responsibility. I rebelled. I did things that were not honorable, and eventually they had to say, "Look, you gotta go." And so I then sort of walked the earth a little bit, got into trouble, tried to, again, keep a roof over my head and some food in my belly, and it led to petty crime and a little bit of time in incarceration. And eventually I just sort of realized, I'm a druid. I have a responsibility that I'm not living up to. And while maybe I can't go back to where I'm from, maybe I can at least do my part elsewhere as I walk around. So I'm a druid. Last time there was stuff I did not realize that, I'm a Stormfront. Is that the one?
Storm Order.
Storm Order. Yeah. And, that's basically who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, a little broody, a little dark, a little mysterious. With a little intro, of course, you get the fact that Sardis is a little emo.
Nice.
Okay. Patrick, who are you playing this go around?
So I am playing Marugu, the Sticky Toe Gripply, which, for those that don't know, a Gripply is a frog person, which is why I'm doing my terrible Kermit the Frog voice. I need to emphasize that he is small. He is like 2.5 feet tall. I don't know if that's going to come into play, but that's like
I hope
it's
so.
It's important that I put that out in the universe that he is 2.5 feet tall. He is from the Mwangi Expanse, the western shore of it. He started out life naturally curious, explored, and the Gripply are very insular in their societies, at least what I've read. So he was kind of, exploring, looking around, wanted to go see the world, right? And when he took that into the endless jungles of the Mwangi Expanse and found a temple of Barzak, which is basically the. Let me pull up the full description. It is the giant migratory bird that is a psychopomp usher for the Dead Roads. Basically, he helps people find lost things.
Nice.
So, generally curious, and so that led me to, hey, I'm going to help people find lost things, and I just kind of bopped around for years finding lost things. And I'm a fucking monk, so, because I wanted to punch stuff after being Dr. Christofferson.
Yeah. Enough of that nonsense.
Exactly.
Let's beat shit.
So I'm a stumbling stance monk, which is why I sound like an idiot, because that's just funny. So there you go.
Cool. And to balance things out, we were just about to introduce the third character last time before the party wipes. To help balance things out, I will do a thing to balance things out to play a character. She won't do a lot unless something like really roleplay relevant becomes handy. She probably also won't do much in the way of like recall knowledge or stuff, because the beautiful thing with Pathfinder, if you recall knowledge, like you can get false information. So anyways, I will play Vara Fara Skalstrand. You can call her Farah. She noticeably has striking blue hair that always seems to be flowing in the wind. And that's because she is a kineticist. She's a dual gate kineticist, wind and water, and she's actually a sylph, which she did not find out right away. So basically a sylph is someone who is a direct descendant of, or somehow had their life influenced, and I guess like their birth influenced by the elementals. There's one for each elemental now that the Plane of Woods is opened up. Anyways, so she's been influenced by the air elementals, and she's really taken to that, and she's been this kind of like really hyper bouncing around, like very fluid, like bouncing around the room and stuff. And this is like help her find a purpose. Before this, she was a combat medic on a ship, and she just excelled at it because she could navigate and move around the ship. Like, she was so fluid, she could get to where she needed to go. So she's got a little bit of medicine background, being a water kineticist and stuff like that. But Varafara is very much exploring this new world and this new outlook on life. She's not just a regular, normal human being. She has this lineage influenced by the elementals that she's really interested in. So, all about that.
Very nice.
Very good. Any business or things you want to take care of before we head below, gentlemen?
No, I'm ready to dive right in.
Let's do it.
Let's go die to that trapper again, the trap guy.
Wow.
Okay.
Meta.
So we'll do, I'll activate the floor down here. Now, I think we all have low light vision. So you should, when you get in here, be able to click on your token and have sight.
There we go. Yeah, I do have low light vision
Good.
finally.
So I'm going to move you up.
Okay.
And you can imagine this as like a full little like montage, because you creep through this spider's web where there's this dead giant spider, and maybe you find this tomb and you know, all these smashed skeleton remains, stuff like that. Let me get Mary out of the way here. He's not part of this. You know, you see a shimmering light up above as you move down the hallway, and you find like an armory and stuff, and you move past all of this stuff, and you ultimately come to a room with a giant statue. And that statue, you see like a pile of gold, and this old stone door is wedged open. And the statue is holding two like offering plates. And because of this new recording software I don't know where to actually hold my hands to make sure they're picked up on the video anymore. So the offering plates are perfectly in balance as you walk by, and this door is open. And you step into this large chamber, and you immediately see skeletal remains of something humanoid in nature, maybe a little scaly. Probably notice the remains of kobolds as you walk through here, but there are the remains of a kobold pierced on in this spike trap in the middle of this massive chamber. Pillars support the high ceiling, and the rune tatters of once decorative banners still hang from them. A decorative tile pattern centered in the middle of the room shows the grim coating the floor. How are you guys approaching this area, by the way?
Is a monk stealthy? Is there any stealth to you, or is it all just...
I'm fairly stealthy, yeah. At least light-footed, right? So I can be stealthy. And you have a black cloak, so you should be stealthy.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out... did I take some stealth? I did take some stealth. Yeah, let's scout ahead. Let's see what's out here by, you know, sticking to the shadows, staying to the sides, and try and get the lay of the land before we step in it.
Sure. Give me a... Let's see, Art, what is yours? Art, give me a stealth check.
Okay, here we go. I assume just everything's a straight roll. Any modifiers?
Yeah, no modifiers.
Ugh.
Oh.
That's terrible.
That's not great.
You rolled an 11, listeners?
Yeah, sorry, listeners. Yeah, I rolled an 11, which means I rolled a 5 when you then add all my bonuses in. I think we're going in loud. Is that what we decided?
You're nice. What kind of weapon did Dr. Christoph wield? Did he have a warhammer? Or maybe he had a clan dagger, right?
Yeah, he had a clan dagger. He had an axe too, I think, but he was always with the clan dagger.
Okay. So Sardis, you're the least stealthy of the bunch, right? And so Marugu, you kind of dash in, and you dash over to this pillar over here, and then before you turn to look where the others are, and you don't see Farah, and then you turn behind, and like Farah has already like moved in behind you, and you didn't even notice. And Sardis starts to creep over when you trip over an old decorative dagger, and you don't go prone, but you catch yourself almost on the tip of one of the spear traps. Like, you're not prone or anything, but and you're like, oh, and you yell out on accident, and all of a sudden you hear this noise from the other end of the room, and at the top of the stairs, I believe he's on a raised, no, it was below, this large kobold all of a sudden steps up. So she steps out in front of him, and she alerts you guys that, oh shit, it's a kobold. In kind of a panic, she doesn't realize she's standing behind this like wall of spears that has this kobold, and so she lashes out, like she channels some of the water, and then it hits the wall of spears, and then it just like the water like creates a wall of mist after it collides with the spears, and doesn't really go further than that. Patrick, you are up.
Nice. Can you unpause the game?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to move so that I can see what's going on in the room. So I'm going to move 1. Okay, so it's just the one kobold.
Just the one kobold.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And as I'm moving, 4, 5. As I'm moving, you guys, like, you two have seen this, but this kobold hasn't. I'm, like, shimmy shuffling. I'm, like, slithering with one hand. I'm, like, stumbling. I'm, like, bumping into the spears as I go. And like, yeah, I look like I've had too much to drink, and I'm just gonna belly up right to this guy because we're shooting this guy already. And so that's one move.
Nice.
And as I come up, I'm gonna faint at him. So I'm gonna like come up at him and just like bend over backwards or something. So that is I will feint on this guy, which is a deception.
Nice.
With a +1 circumstance bonus for stumbling stance. So, Matt, you ready for that?
Yep.
Boop. That's
Nice.
an 18.
19.
So, if that's a success, it is off guard against the next melee attack. If it is a critical success, it's still my next turn. He will be off guard. And off guard is a -2 to their AC.
All right, his perception is... Also, I figured out the fucking torch thing. I just gotta fix it.
Nice.
Perception. Yeah, that's good. That feint goes through.
Nice. So now I will stumbling swing, and I'm literally like my eyes are going all over the place. Like I'm like, as I come up to this guy, and I'm gonna punch him in the throat. So
All right, don't forget to hit T and target him.
Thank you. I would have absolutely forgotten to do that.
Because it'll take into the status effects, which is one of the...
Nice. So that's one of my Fury of Blow attacks, by the way. And I'll do a second one, which has no modifier, I believe. There's my second one. Well, that's a crit miss, but I got a nice hit, too. So, just...
Critical failures are back, baby.
Gotta love it. You want the damage on the hit?
Yes. Sorry. Yes, please.
That is 9, sir.
Oh, look at that. I believe I take him and I hit damage. Yeah, very good.
Nice. Look at that.
Okay, brief interlude. If you equip a torch,
Yes.
you move it to your hand, right? Like you take it from your backpack and you say, you change the carry type to whatever hand. You then need to go to your actions tab, which is the diamond tab, and select torch is lit to then light your torch in the game.
There we go. Okay. Good to know.
Nice.
So sorry for the delay, and that makes perfect sense if you know it's there, but again, so sorry.
No, that's all good. So I moved, I did a feint, and I did my flurry of blows. So I think that's all 3 for me, sir. And I punched him in the throat.
Very good. Patrick, just so I know as a GM, you do not have attack of opportunity yet, right?
No.
I think only fighter starts with it. Okay.
Yeah.
He will... he will do a run away. He's gonna run down these steps. Boo, boo, boo. And then you see him, Patrick, in the dim light that Farah's torch is not quite reaching. You see him. He throws something out on the ground.
Okay.
All right, and then it is Sardis' art.
Well, Sardis only knows one speed, and that's all out right into it. So, no, not really. He's going to...
Form of a gorilla.
Shape of stupid. Yeah, so Sardis is going to sort of... let me do a little bit of this and a little bit of... okay, there we go. He's going to... Let's see. My movement is... Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4... I'm sort of like bound and overwatching a little bit between the pillars.
Uh-huh. Right.
So I get to the next pillar, and I'm sort of looking over to see, because I'm not quite sure what. Am I aware that he threw something out? Like, did I hear it, or
maybe you heard some. Give me. Yeah, we'll say you heard it.
Okay, cool. In that case, then yeah, I don't know what it is, so I'm still trying to take cover and play it smart.
Sure. So you stride.
Yeah, so that would be the stride action, and then
You have 2 more if you want.
let me see. Do I have anything I can do with this? Let me pop in my character sheet and see. No, not ignition. Yeah, you know what? I think. Is there some kind of like Overwatch? Like, let me bring up my sheet here. I've got the sheet over here. Not that anybody can see it. I can take cover. I might.
You're behind a pillar, so you could do that.
Yeah, so I might use one to take cover.
Okay.
And let's see. Remove yourself from the initiative and return as if. I can delay, but there's no real point because it's the end of the turn.
You have to do it right before you do anything else.
Oh, so I would have had to. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I might just hold for the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So go to the top of the order. Farah will step forward, and she just flies by. Yeah, she'll go 5, 10, 20.
Oh my God, Farah, you're on fire.
30. And she will. This thing is taking cover, but she'll kind of cover the stairs, and then she'll get back there and she'll target. And I don't. What's too bad about the kineticist and how it's built in here is how I do elemental blasts aren't an attack and they're not a spell, and it's different. So she will again send out a jet of water towards this thing. So I will roll manually again.
Nice.
That'll hit, and he's off guard, right?
Yes.
So that's not a crit. And that is then. So it was water. Oh yeah.
Nice.
So she shoots out. She's doing the whole channeling thing, and she grabs another orb of water, and then she cups her hand around it, and then also she goes, whoo, and this tentacle arm of water shoots out and hits this kobold right in the chest. Patrick.
So I'll see that, and while I see her tentacle arm going, or like concurrently, I'll start like hop skipping down this way, and that's a big column right there, right?
Yeah, it is, but you can get around it.
Okay, so like I'm gonna like do the thing to feint him out on this one, where like I stick my head around one side, stick my head around the other side, to try and like catch this guy out, and I'll try my feint. So that's a stride and a.
Real quick, just so I understand, it's the off guard that I gave him only applied to the next strike you do. So even though Farah hit, your off guard effect only affects
through to So there's
just your stumbling strikes. It doesn't do anything for us.
Yes, it's my attempts against them. Yes, period.
Okay.
So, yes. So here is my next feint, as long as you're good with that. How does it fail, it looks like?
Look at that. When you target and feint it, it even gives you the DC. So, like, DC, I can open it up, and I see he's got passive perception of
Oh, wow.
of +6, and usually a DC is 10 + 6. But so it tells you right there, 16. Very nice. Okay.
So I failed.
Okay, so he's not off guard. Let me take that off real quick.
Okay. So he's not fooled by my head bobbing. He's probably just wondering what the fuck this little 2.5-foot frog is doing. And
You have one more action.
I'm in a flurry of blows. This
Nice.
So here we go again. So
Flurry of Blows is so good.
it's so good.
So our Flurry of Blows is 2 attacks for one action. You still get multiple attack penalty, but like you still get 2 attacks. So it's amazing. So cool.
So there's my
Oh baby, that's gonna hit.
there's my first, and here's my multi-attack one.
Okay.
That's a
So roll
miss.
damage on the first one.
6 more.
Nice. He will, realizing he doesn't have the path of retreat he thought he would, he will target Marugu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Oh, that feels so much better than Dr. Christoph.
Oh no. He's gonna follow it up. So he hacks at you with your longsword, and then he comes up again.
Ooh.
That'll hit,
Yeah,
and he connects.
that's okay.
And he stabs you for 5 damage, or maybe finds a weak point in your armor, or you're trying to do like the stumble attack, and he catches your arm, and then he will run, and you notice him take this path, right? Like he goes a wide berth around the pillar, and then he like really quickly sees Farah, and then he's like, oh shit. I guess you don't hear that because then I'm going to speak Kobold, but 5, 10, 15, 20, and he'll run up the stairs, not losing track of Sardis. Obviously, Sardis tipped off the whole fucking room, but all right, Sardis.
First of all, I don't appreciate that.
That slight.
Yeah. Just could have happened to anybody.
Fair.
So once I see him doing that, I realize I cannot allow.
You step out of the shadows
And trip him.
Well, that's actually what I was just trying to see. Is there some kind of what can I do here?
Trip him into his own spear trap.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna try and knock a creature prone using athletics for a trip.
You need to check. You don't want to trip, probably, because depending on your weapon, you might have a trait that will allow you to do that without unequipping your look at shove, basically, on your weapon.
Okay.
So if a weapon has the shove trait, you can do a shove check without letting go of your weapon. Now, you can always let go of your weapon, but then it's one action to re-engage your weapon.
Okay.
So even if your hands are full and you have a shove weapon, you can do the shovey.
So that's a shove. So now a trip says one hand free. Try and knock. So one hand free. So now I have my hand crossbow is up, but that's a one-handed weapon.
Oh yeah, because shove is just push away. Yeah, if you want to trip, you're gonna have to either drop your. What are you holding right now? I guess. You have a shield and you have a mace.
Yeah.
And you have. Oh no, you have your crossbow. You said you got your crossbow.
I had my crossbow out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's stow your mace.
Oh right. Yes. Okay. So yeah, maybe what does my shield let me do?
So shield will give you a increase to your AC, but you have to take the action raise shield.
True. Okay.
Unless you have some kind of reaction that lets you do a snap raise shield or something like that, but by default.
Right.
They're great, but you have to be ready to use them.
Okay. So I think as I'm seeing him run, I realize I'm not in a position, like I'm getting surprised. And so I go and I cast Tempest Surge.
Oh, baby.
So let me target him. Okay. I'm going to cast Tempest Surge. Now, I've never cast a spell in Pathfinder before, so we'll see how this goes. You do not have enough focus points. I don't have focus points. Oh, crap.
Oh, it's your focus spell.
Oh. Yes, that's true. Okay, so how do I get focus points?
I wonder if you started with some.
That's the thing. I thought I should have started with some, and now I maybe didn't enter that.
Let's look that up later. Don't waste your focus spell.
Okay, don't waste.
Do not, like, you look at him, you start to do that, right? Like, maybe you start to channel this, like, you're ready to fight, right? And so you immediately go for the big guns, but then you pop out and you see this guy, and, like, this guy's bloodied, and he's limping up the stairs, and he's got his back to you and everything, so, like, maybe don't waste your focus.
Yeah, so maybe in that case, maybe I just sort of point my crossbow at him and say, "Why don't you hold up there, son?"
And I will check. Nice. So don't forget to target him.
Yeah, still targeted, I think.
With
do I need to roll some kind of...
like an attack?
I didn't know if it was like an intimidation, if it was... I'm not good at that necessarily, but I do have my crossbow at him. Pointed at him, and I'll say...
Well, I mean, intimidation would be if you want to intimidate. Like, you could roll intimidation if you wanted to do something like that.
Most of the time, I just want him to stop. And so I'll tell him that. I'm just like, stop right there.
Okay.
Crossbow at the ready.
Well, he turns to look at you, but and his eyes are kind of darting around the room, and he's outnumbered 3-1.
And so does he sort of comply? Is he stopped at least? Or is he going to go for it?
Well, he's out of actions.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, yes.
So he's going to stop.
Stopped right there. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... So I'll sort of I think speaking doesn't really cost anything, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out and sort of block his path here. And... Yeah, and maybe, I'll let me look at my character sheet. I will, what did I have? I'm going to raise my shield while I have my crossbow up.
Okay, so you strode,
yeah,
and you raised your shield, so you have one more.
And I'm going to do a recall knowledge just because what am I looking at? Like, this thing just came out of nowhere. What are we doing? And I'm trying to figure out what get some information going here.
Sure. Probably nature.
Okay. Let me see. Proficiencies. Okay. Nature. Oh, I'm actually good at that. Okay.
Nice.
You are a druid.
I would hope so.
That doesn't stop me. Listeners, I rolled a 9, so I rolled actually a 2 plus my 7.
So you see the walrus in front of you.
The walrus?
And yeah, because he rolled terribly on fucking 9 on a +7.
+7.
Yeah. No.
Oh my god, it's an ancient red dragon.
Yeah. Right. Holy shit! The elder gods are here. Well, Art, you see it's a kobold.
Nailed it.
Yep. Okay. Farah is up, and she'll dash over to him, and she's gonna use 2 of her. Like, now she brings in both elements, right? Right hand water, but then she starts swirling around with air, and she's going to use a 2-action elemental blast. And then since she's in melee range, I get my strength modifier, so this is a class DC. Why am I not seeing it? Constitution. Roll it. I need to make a macro for rolling elemental blast.
So yeah, I've rolled like a 2. I think I rolled a 1. It's been good show so far.
You have my rolls from last Otari.
Right.
Sorry, just checking something real quick.
I'm glad we're doing this again because I feel like this is like one of the mini bosses, and there's going to be like 7 more floors to this dungeon or something.
Well, there's not 7 more, but you're not too far off, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
And
good.
boss is
My
a
class
strong
is
word.
17.
To
All right, this
us.
would be D20 plus 9. 27
That's pretty good.
does not crit.
Whoa.
Remember, crit is plus 10.
Wow.
And she will hit him with air. And all of a sudden, this storm energy bursts out from Farah. And she will get, because she used 2, she will get a 1d6 plus 4. I don't think I got the plus 4.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it looks like it was just a straight D6.
Okay. But he is still alive. Patrick.
Well, I'll this is gonna be the new thing. I'm gonna walk and like, which is like, it sounds as Marugu walks, it's like a soft plop, like his little sticky feet are touching the ground. Yeah, like, you brought this down upon yourself. You brought the wrath. You brought the ruin. And so I'm behind him. Like,
You should flank him.
I can do that.
Yeah. Get to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah,
You go on the
let's-
opposite side of Farah, and that should be good enough if you can get that far.
So let's see. I was there, so I could go like 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a wall. 3, 4, 5. Sure. Yeah, great.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah. So you
So
brought
he
the
will be
wrath.
off guard.
You brought the
Flat
wrath. You brought the ruin. And I'll flurry of blows because that's what we do as a monk. That's a miss. I'll do my multi-action penalty one now.
Nice. There we
Hey.
go.
Do-
All right, tell me how this is lethal and what it looks like.
I just snap his neck.
Oh!
No, like, you brought the wrath. You brought the ruin. Done.
You're just like,
Yeah. Just
nice.
yeah. Just wrap myself around his head and he's done.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm still trying to find out. I assume you start with a focus point, Art, so just give yourself a focus point.
Cool. All right.
I mean, because here's the deal. A focus point, you usually get it at the start of your day when you're doing your daily preparation, so, like, you would have done that, right?
Right.
So even if you don't, like, during character
I
prep...
mean, he was in the stockades. Like, could he have, like, focused on... I'm just kidding.
I will...
kidding.
Farah will step up to Marugu.
Hey, Farah.
What's up?
Hey, girl.
She, all of a sudden, like a cool mist washes over Marugu. And she's like, even though Marugu has a, like, Hermit the Frog voice, like, he is, like, raging right now, right? Like, I mean, he just snapped a guy's neck.
I don't know if he's raging. I think he's just like that, right? No, he's
Okay.
Yeah, he snapped that guy's neck. It's, he's a monk. He's had to do what he has to do to defend the temple in the past. Like, it's fine, probably.
So instead of calming you down, the water washes over you and she cleans you, and she cleans your fists, which become like bloodied and stuff. And you see like the new wounds on your knuckles are washed, and as they washed over, your hands are anew. And go ahead and restore 6 points of HP.
Nice. That takes me to full. And I look wonderful as a fully hydrated frog once again. Thanks, Farah.
In this room, you find a few different things. You find 3 cages with the remains of 3 humans. Or no, an elf,
A dwarf.
a dwarf, and a human wearing robes, which have like the robes are still there, but there's a skeleton now, which is interesting to you because Tamily has mentioned 2 people So you have no idea whose remains. The remains of the third human are in the same state of decay as the dwarf and the elf. And you find identification badges on them. Like warrant cards that City Watch might offer, but you're right, they're just business cards. And it's for log jams, Otari's premier psychic detective agency.
I'll turn to Art's character. I'll say, "Wow, they just never saw it coming, did they?"
You can tell that a lot of damage was inflicted upon them, and you quickly realize that they saw much of it coming, and they suffered, and they died
horribly.
And they perished.
Can I reach?
ahead.
Can I reach into the dwarf's cage and like hold the head up like Hamlet for a second, and just be like, "Oh, I bet this guy was a real badass. I bet he was really awesome." And I'll drop
Perhaps in his prime, Brother Morogu.
Yes, and I'll drop the skull unceremoniously. Fuck him.
Should we do something with their remains?
And there, Sardis, he steps in as a priest, and he sort of like takes a moment and tries to get the cage open so that their remains aren't just unceremoniously.
Yeah.
And then I sort of weekend at Bernie's them against the door. No. But mostly I try and sort of lay them out flat so I can sort of do a blessing over their remains.
Yeah, I'll help, because that is actually Barzak. Like, his other thing besides helping find lost things is like proper burial rites. So
maybe I step back and let
Oh no, we can tag team this. So like, I'll make a little like pyramid of bones with their skulls on top. Like,
nice.
Yeah, that looks right. That looks symmetrical. Wait, did that head go with those bones or those bones? Shit. It's not easy being green.
So, Farah will walk around and light some of the torches as an excuse to get my torch away.
Nice.
We find a bunch of stuff in this place. In the robes of the elf, there's an ever-burning torch. Actually, which means nothing to you other than it's a magic blue torch. It's not burning any of the clothing. You cup your hands around it, it doesn't go out. We've heard it before. It's the torch that doesn't go out. Does anyone want it? It would tie up a hand. If not, Farah will take it just because she won't. Like, I don't use weapons.
Right. So I feel like Patrick, I feel like you would not want it because you need the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's a monk weapon, monks absolutely want like nothing in their hands.
Right.
So I'll just take it thematically or mechanically because Farah.
Yeah. Now, can she cast like one hand? So to
Well,
speak?
she doesn't it's different, but yeah, she can
do her
still
thing.
function
Okay.
just fine. Yeah.
Because as you saw from that last combat, in order for me to be completely ineffectual in action, I need both hands to not hit, not do anything, stumble in my stealth check. I need my hands free. I can't hold a torch while I'm screwing everything up.
I have a question for the audience. I'm not familiar with how druids work in Pathfinder compared to other games that shan't be named. Like, when I hear druid, I think redheads, and then I also think like that you're gonna turn into a gorilla or something at some point. Are you not that kind of druid?
No, I'm.
Okay.
I think the shape-shifting druids are a type of druid. I chose the Storm Order.
Gotcha.
So I think that's a little bit more of an offensively driven magic casting. But I do have heal.
Yep.
I do have like some other ones like Tanglevine.
Okay, I gotcha.
Some exploratory spells, but
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't believe I'll be walking around with like a familiar pet or shape-shifting.
Well,
Fair
not
enough.
not until you somehow get another order. I think you can like get other orders.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so like but he starts with an order.
Okay, cool. Interesting.
Other things we find in this room. Which of you two is the more sticky fingered? And not literally like with frog sticky hands,
right?
But who's the?
I wouldn't frame it as sticky finger in art. If you want to take stuff, that's cool. But like I'm trying to find people's lost stuff and get it back to them. So like, if it's lost and it's down here, I probably have a sack full of useless shit. Like, oh, here's this spoon. Here's this ear cleaner that I found on the ground. Like,
right. My past involves some thievery, some street pickpocketing and such, but that's not. I'm trying to get away from that, so I wouldn't actively be trying to like, oh, make sure nobody sees me pocket this.
Well, here's what you find.
Okay.
It sounds like Sardis would maybe take this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever you guys want to take, however you want to divide it up is fine. But a very interesting piece of jewelry on this head kobold. You find some remains of other kobolds that, again, are in the same state of decay as everyone else in the room. But this one that you just fought is wearing a special necklace. It has a simple copper chain and a cracked piece of a very large eggshell. The shell is ivory in color, but it has strange green veins running through it. This piece of the eggshell is only about 3 inches across, but the egg it came from must have been at least... Sardis, give me a... Yeah, go ahead and give me a... You know what? I'm going to do this secret. What's your nature modifier?
Let's see. My nature modifier might be +7, but let me just double check. It's a +7.
All right. I'm going to do secret checks in person.
You just want to roll your own dice.
I like it.
Okay. Sardis, you kind of tell everyone that you think that the egg it come from must have been at least 2 feet wide.
Oh, wow. And if you know anything about my recall knowledge abilities, they're pretty sharp. So we take that to the bank. All right. So, yeah. So I think, we sort of hold on to the piece and realize, where there's one piece, maybe there's others, and we should keep an eye out for them.
And as you do a final sweep of the room, and as you prepare the final burial rites of Dr. Kristoff, Eldon Farrell, and maybe Sardis is so emo that he says their names out loud.
Definitely.
An unknown magician that we never got to know named Mary. You feel as if their experiences have become your experiences. Please grant yourself 500 experience.
Nice.
That's good. By the way, I'll take the copper chain eggshell and shove it in my backpack.
Cool.
So what do I call that? Copper egg thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
For all the stuff that they have item things for, they do not have a... actually... No, they don't. That's weird.
It is weird.
They have... Everything has its own little thing. Very good. So there is a set of stairs leaving this room. This would be an ideal time to do a rest, but we're all topped off. Art wisely saved his focus spell.
Yes, very wisely.
It would seem best to press on. Downstairs is the only path, unless there's anything else you guys want to do in this room.
I'm good. Patrick, is there anything else?
No.
Maybe Sartis.
Yeah.
Maybe he does sort of. I don't know. I mean, we've sort of poked around, but maybe Sardis looks around. So here we are. We're under the city, and we're finding something that seems pretty elaborate. So maybe I just sort of look around the walls and things like that, and just see if there's any kind of religious symbolism, any kind of markings, anything that might indicate like what, I didn't recall knowledge successfully on the kobold that charged us, but maybe there's something about the the location that can reveal a bit of its history, if that's important. That might help us.
Nice. I don't think so.
Okay.
You would notice the elaborate pattern on the floor, but it just seems to be, old. I mean, we're beyond sewer work, but it is a peculiar chamber below the city with high ceilings, but there's nothing like that descriptive about it other than just being decorative.
Okay, cool. Then otherwise, we've poked around and I think there's nothing more to be learned.
Very good. So you head downstairs and we will drag. Are anyone rocking a torch? I guess you guys want Farah to just have a torch out.
Yeah, if she's going to have her torch out, maybe I realize that, we're getting into a tight hallway here. I'm going to switch my crossbow out for my mace, and I'm going to have that ready with my shield.
Okay. And Patrick, you got your nux ready?
Hiya.
Very good. All right. Let me drag tokens out down
I
here.
guess my stumbling stance is done. I sobered up immediately.
And as you move down the stairs, how are you guys progressing?
Quietly.
Quietly.
I'll take the lead because shield up, mace ready, so I'm sort of a little bit of a wall in front.
Okay, nice.
I'll take middle, I guess.
That makes sense, yeah, and I feel like Farah's probably got some range.
That way I can leapfrog over you
Oh,
if I
boy.
need to.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You move down the stairs and you see like a table tipped over. You should be able to start moving. And, it's just like there's a big giant wall of barrels. The stairs spiral down deep into the earth before ending in a chamber that looks like it has been prepared specifically to defend against intruders. On one side of the room, a table's been turned on its side to provide cover, while the other crates and barrels have been piled up to create a second barrel. Everyone tell me your perception DC, which is your perception plus 10.
17, I guess.
Okay, Patrick.
My perception plus 10, you said.
Yep.
That is 15. I think.
Okay. I'm going to roll. You said it was 15?
Yeah.
The room looks empty to you.
Well, Starsis, I think you're good to probably just go on in.
Yeah, shield down. I'm feeling good about it. No, I inch forward again, shield up, not letting my guard down.
And as you step into the room, a kobold pops out. And he will make a strike, and you have your shield up, but you also are going to be caught off guard here. So you have...
Classic Sardis.
Classic. This is quickly turning into your kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I know. Get jumped and killed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of my bag. Yeah.
Wow.
17. So you don't even see him pop out, but all of a sudden, thunk, a bolt from a crossbow comes flying through the air, and Sardis takes 9 points of damage.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
God damn.
Roll initiative.
Oh, now we're okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me find this. Let me find. Where did I put that? There it is. And we're gonna pop this in. Let me see. Am I in the initiative tracker? Can I add myself to the initiative tracker?
I will add you now. Where's your token? Patrick, are you under me? There you are.
Yeah.
All right, not bad. Didn't completely blow it.
All right, roll it. Oh, shit. Fucking Farah.
It's just,
Redonk.
When the game plays itself. No, I'm kidding.
Right. Did you roll, Patrick?
I did. Yeah, I got a 20.
Oh, let me move you up. I don't know why it didn't. I'm just gonna override you at 20. You'll go right behind Farah.
Nice.
Okay. Very good. So Farah will move immediately up to Sardis, and she, just like you guys, she came downstairs, channeling the element. So there's water and wind whipping around you, and your hood is pushed back, and all of a sudden water washes over your face, and she starts to sing a song to you, and it starts to soothe you.
Aww.
And regain 5 points of damage. So that is move, and that is
nice.
That.
Rock-a-bye baby in the treetop.
And then she will blast out at the kobold that fired on you.
Nice. Avenge me.
And nothing. The barrier is too much, and he's unable to do anything. Brother Morogu.
So I made a joke about leapfrogging.
You're gonna leapfrog?
I would like to leapfrog.
Nice.
Sure, of course.
I would like to jump off of I will get your name right at some point. Sartis, off of his shoulders and like into the kobold. That's what I would like to do. How would you like me to proceed with that?
Give me an either acrobatics or
I'll give you an acrobatics.
Or athletics, either one.
Let's go with acrobatics.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to say you do it, but there's like no combat effect to it. Like
Okay.
you're mobile enough where you can get over, you can vault over.
So you're going to get like there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I will then I will go into my stance. Maybe I'm sorry, I should have probably gone into my stance beforehand. My stumbling stance. So I don't gracefully leap over you. I literally look like I'm tumbling over you drunk into that area.
Nice.
And then I'll do, say it with me, everybody, flurry of blows.
Nice.
So here is my stumbling. Oh, well, that's neat. It gave me all sorts of stuff now. Huh. Anyway, here's my first strike. Oh, I need to target this guy first. Well, I should have targeted him beforehand. That's a 23 with my first hit.
A 23 against his perception, right?
This is just regular attack.
Oh, you're not doing your stance?
So the stance I just get.
I mean, you're not doing your
no
feint.
feint.
I mean,
No feint on
yeah.
this.
Yeah, that first one hits.
All right, damage.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. And here is my second one.
Well, and that has the MAP in it.
Yes.
Nice.
And let's dance with another
Okay.
6.
Making nice work of him.
Cha-cha.
But as you make a nice work, you hear the distinctive. That's not the distinctive noise I was trying to make, but the clack of a crossbow, and you hear the thwump. Who's it aimed at?
Oh.
Hits,
Oh, no.
and it pierces you in the back, Morogu. And you take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then you hear it. You hear some adjustments as it re-racks, and then it will be to the Cobalt Scout that Morogu's attacking already went. So over to Art.
Okay. Now, I think
Sardis.
technically I was ahead of it. I had a 15.
Yeah, I know. I accidentally
Oh.
pulled you out and then moved you
Okay.
in. Let me just roll you and then fix it. I didn't mean to
Oh,
pull you out.
worked
It
out.
rolled 15
Perfect.
again. There you go.
Okay. So I see what's happened here with that second kobold, and I will not let that stand. How big are these things in front? Are these like full-size kegs?
They are giving him big enough for. I mean, a kobold's not as tall as you. It's giving him cover for sure.
Okay. I guess the question is if I were to move, say like here,
Uh-huh.
could I kick this into him to jam him up a little bit?
Yeah, I would treat it like a shove check to like move him back and like pin him up against the wall or something like that.
Yeah, so I'll give it. I'll go 1, 2, and then so I stride, and then I'll do what was the check you said? I'm sorry. the kick?
It would be athletics,
Like a shove,
so like you're
athletics.
doing a shove. Yeah.
Okay, so let me bring this in. Let me get.
And it would pull him out of cover as well. Like he's not up against the barrel.
Okay, so an athletics check. I assume just a straight roll, no modifiers.
Yeah.
Here we go. 18.
What is it checked against? That is probably checked against his. Fortitude. What did JR used to always say? Like fortitude, intestinal fortitude to mean balls. Nice. You shove him back. Ooh, he slams into the wall. The barrel, topples off to the side. So you get him out of cover. So that's stride, shove. You got one more action.
Can I stride again?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll lose your God, I keep taking out of
Shield.
combat. Your shield raise.
Oh, I do. Okay, that's okay. I'm getting in his face. I'm not letting him get another shot off.
Okay.
And my frog buddy's back.
I realized, just for the folks at home, when I'm in stumbling stance, it clears out all of my other attacks except for stumbling swing. But when I'm out of stumbling stance, the Pathfinder module gives me all of my normal actions.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
interesting. Okay.
So
Yeah.
how can I take your shield off, Arts?
I can do that. And for the listeners, I rolled an 18. The saving throw was a 13, and that's why
Yes.
that's why it worked. So I will take off. Nope, I don't want to drop my shield. I just need to lower.
You should be able to, up top right by the chat box, you should see a little shield icon.
Oh, I
There,
can just
you
click that off and it's gone. Great. Okay, that's how I do it. Okay.
Nice.
So I
Okay.
raise it on the character sheet, but I can lose it with that icon. Great. Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Okay. So Farah jumps, or she just moves around, and she'll flank behind this other kobold, and she will give him. He's now off guard. Last time we played, it was flat-footed. No, last time we played, it was off guard. The time we played before that, it was flat-footed. Why can't I find off guard? There it is. All right, so Farah does her thing. This time she's in melee range.
She's going to turn her water into a giant.
Nice. That barely hits. And she will roll. She's hitting with water.
Nice.
But this time it's like a snow, like freezing mist forms around her, and these ice shards fly out. Or no, her like hands turn into ice shards, and she jabs at him with those, and that is 1d8.
Wow. Does she want to build a snowman?
Yes, she does.
Nice.
6 points of damage to the Kobold Scout.
Oh my god.
And
Oh,
the
he's dead.
ice jabs into
Oh,
the Kobold.
nice.
Dead.
Nice.
Patrick.
So, as far as we can tell, I guess I could do a perception check around. There's no other gribbling kobolds anywhere that we can tell.
Yeah, in this room, you're like, Sardis hasn't called anything out from the other side of the barrels,
Yeah.
and he can see the rest of the room, and we can see the rest of this side of the room. So you don't need to make a check. I'll just tell you.
I'll kind of post up by this door over here just to see if I can see anything coming that way. And I don't know if I don't think I have herbalism. I don't think I have battle medicine or anything with that for myself. Natural medicine. What does that do? No,
Let you
that's
use nature when you're checking medicine. So
Yeah.
battle medicine, you need the doctor's tools, and you need the feat.
Okay. I'll pull out of stumbling stance.
Okay.
And then I'll equip. I've got throwing knives, so I'll just go ahead and draw them so that I can, cha if anything comes up.
Nice. We can talk about it offline. What are the requirements for you to be in stumbling stance?
So the stance is
because I wonder how you can leave it.
It just says you enter a seemingly unfocused stance that mimics the movements of an inebriated, babbling, weaving, whatever. While in this stance, you gain +1 circumstance bonus to deception checks for feint. I get +1, or I go to 1d8 damage instead. And then it brings up the stuff about strike. Let me check.
I'll just have to look it out how to. So, like, anyways, it's Art's. No, it is the other Cobalt Scar turn, and he will. We'll just have to look at how there's some mechanicals like how monks get out of, and usually it's like you're disqualified by doing something.
It's for until the encounter ends, so I can't just willingly leave it.
Okay,
so
got it.
Let me just.
I was gonna say sometimes it's strict, sometimes it's like you just have to put your weapon away.
Yep.
Ooh, Art. This one he drops his crossbow, so his crossbow falls to the ground, and then he draws his short sword. That's one action, and then his next action he swings at you. And 6 points of damage for Sardis.
All right. Brings me down to 8.
That's dropped, draw, and then he will. Does he have? He does have hurried retreat. So he will. You do not have an attack of opportunity?
I would assume no.
Yeah. I think no one at level 1 besides fighters get it. And he'll run to the other side of the room. I've already healed you, Art, so as Farah moves, she will sweep her icy mist over.
Sorry, do I get to go, or do I just...
Oh, I'm so sorry, Art. I'm so sorry. Yes,
because I can catch up to him, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're up.
Okay.
So sorry.
So if I'm able to just go... I start with a stride.
Uh-huh.
I follow it up with my mace in his skull, hopefully.
Okay.
So let me pop that in.
That's my favorite.
And I'm gonna let me Target it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna Target it, and then I'm going to strike. Oh my god.
Use a hero. Use a hero point.
Wow.
No.
You could use your hero point.
Yeah, you know what? Why not, right? Do they refresh every time, or is it...
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so let me use a hero... Oops, nope. No, I'm not going up. I'm going to go down. So I just re-roll that?
Yeah, just do a new attack roll.
Okay, let's do one more. So for the listeners, the first one I rolled an 11. I was like, no, that's no good. I need to spend my hero point. I rolled an 11.
Wow.
So, which means I rolled a 6, and then there's a +5. So, and then for I'm going to raise a shield just in case, as my final action. And that's it for my 3.
All right, Patrick, heal 7 points of damage.
Nice.
And what I will do as far as whole fucking thing. And she targets Sardis. And she does, so she brings a cooling mist over Morogu, and with her other hand, like a cyclonic storm, like almost kicks up in the room, but only with enough force to pick up Sardis and bring him back over onto this side of the table.
Mom, I was fine.
Morogu, your turn.
So I will stride with my typical lurching, burbling, like trip, bump into the thing, and like stumble over it.
Yeah.
And then as part of that, I'll use that as my feint attempt. Like I'm trying. Oh, he's drunk. He's tripping over shit. So let me do my feint here. This is fun. I like having this many actions. It's crazy. So here's
I haven't done a goddamn thing all night.
This is
and then Farrah feels like, oh my god, he's gonna hurt himself. Let me put him in the. He can't be trusted to hold that thing. Let me bring him back here.
Put him in his.
I didn't want you to die on night 1.
Yeah. So there's an off guard.
Nice. Off guard. All right.
And here comes a flurry of blows. That's a I got a 13, so that's a hit, I think. You want me to roll damage on that one first?
Sure. Yeah.
That's,
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
And then here's my second. Ooh, yike.
Miss.
Okay.
Okay, so it'll be the Kobold Scout. And he'll feel shame of being beaten so badly by a
2.5-foot frog.
a drunken 2.5-foot frog. And he'll stab down at you for 4 points of damage.
All right.
And then he'll follow it up. He'll stab, and then he'll jab, and then he'll thrust, and then he will.
He's gonna
is
swing
a little
again.
coward, so he will run around behind back to where his crossbow was. And Sardis, your turn, buddy.
So, Mom, where do you want to move me now? No, real quick, where on my... I'm trying to find where I would put my focus point. I'm not seeing it on the sheet.
Maybe under spell.
I'm under spell casting. It's not under my spell preparation. That's just where I pull the spells that I... I just wasn't sure where to... And sorry, and the only reason why is so then, it would let me actually trigger that spell.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing it on the front sheet as one of the stats. And I wasn't seeing it under spell casting. Would it be under maybe feats for my druid spell casting? Maybe there?
Could be.
I'm
searching
No. Anyway, so maybe what I will do.
Well, why don't you just cast it, and then you'll be out of.
We'll just
focus
figure it
points
out. Yeah.
anyways.
So let me see if it'll.
Right. I mean, you'll take if that's what you want to do.
Yes.
Then I would say cast it, and then you'll be at 0 focus points and couldn't cast anything until you rest anyways.
Right. So let me.
And then in the meantime, I can figure out.
I'm just gonna move my guy over there just so I can make sure I'm clicked on him so I can target him.
Sure. Of course.
And then I'm going to make sure I'm not muted as I was a moment ago. Apologies. So I'm going to cast again. I'm going to try my Tempest Surge. Let me see if it'll actually... It's not going to let me because I don't know focus points to cast a spell. But basically, I will put it in the chat for everybody to see if they want. But basically, you surround a foe in a swirling storm of violent winds, rolling clouds, and crackling lightning. The storm deals 1d12 electricity damage to the target with a basic reflex save. On a failure, the target is also clumsy 2 for 1 round. Heightened +1, the initial damage increases by 1d12.
Okay, reflex save, huh?
Yes. So you do the reflex save.
Failure.
15 against your class DC, right?
17.
Which is a 17, yep.
Nice. It takes 1d12 electricity damage.
Cool. Now, I forget, in this, do I click the roll damage or do you do it?
You need to roll damage.
Okay, just straight 1d12. I guess the damage type is not acid, it would be lightning or electricity.
Yeah, electricity. Yep.
Okay, and then here we go. Roll a 12, baby.
All right. How do you fry this bastard?
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So it's a little bit like, this isn't the first time I've been emasculated by literally everyone in the group. And so it's sort of like my frustration. I'm like, fine. I'm like, and it's almost like fueled by a little bit of rage, so it's kind of, but not like Hulk smash, cool rage, kind of like pissy, passive aggressive,
emo kid rage.
Yeah. And so I sort of like do it, and he's sort of like charred and shaking. I turn to them, I'm like, you see, like I'm fine. Like, you don't need to nanny state me though, And so he's kind of like, because he blew it upstairs, he probably blew it before in the past. These three have been doing stuff. He knows he's got a little bit of a reputation of being a floppy failure. And so he's just trying to like demonstrate like I'm not a total moron despite all the evidence.
Well, that's great, Sardis. I'm so glad you were able to get it up today.
God damn it.
I'm really proud of your progress.
Despite my brother Morogu, I promise I will ask your permission next time.
And the reality is that I know she was right. Like, I was in a bad spot. I got whiffed. I got hit. You know, I've been healed twice already. I would have been dead 10 minutes ago if it wasn't for her. But I can't quite be grateful because it's a little humiliating.
I love it. No, I think it's wonderful, like, role-playing shit. Like, you know what? Fuck this! Just, like, fucking raid in his
Right, I
ass.
got the vein going here. It's like, is that going to pop?
Yeah,
Is he
right.
going to die on me, right?
He's like, he's half dead already. You know, it doesn't matter. Just, like,
Just total overkill. Exactly.
right. Nice. Love it. We will go ahead and give yourselves 80 experience. We should be at 580 on these characters. And
Nice.
we will find out about floor 2 later on. I think, like, tactically, we could do some really cool things with that. Just that's why I took it. Like, just so you guys know, I can pick you up and move both of you at the same time 30 feet.
Oh, nice. Okay,
with
just so
the
we,
wind.
yeah.
And yeah, because I think my heal is touch range. I think you have a ranged heal, right, Art?
I do, yes.
And then I also have battle medicine. So here's the other thing. As we go on, we can, like, we will probably be done with Otari in 2 more sessions, just based off what's in store here. Like, this is maybe 1 more session. But if it's like, whoa, I don't really like the drunken stance, or you want to change some of your, like, spells you prepared, as you learn more about your classes, feel free to, like, change them until we get to, like, level 2 or something like that.
I was about to say, yeah, hopefully these stick around for a little bit so we can really appreciate what we've set up here.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there are plans, and the plans are coming.
Would these be your Kingmaker characters? I don't know if my character would be my Kingmaker character.
Definitely.
I'd have to really think long and hard about it.
Yeah, I mean, if it went that way, I'd absolutely be down to play Sardis, the big bitch, in Kingmaker.
Yeah, and I think Marugu and Sardis wouldn't really be the kings. We'd be the shadow people behind the throne, the Shadow Council.
So some players have gone that way just because I told you, remember, the kingdom stuff is a little half fleshed out, and some players are just like, we're not going to be the kings. We're going to do the things for the king. And then just, like, hand wave that. But I read something today about an alchemist that plays group mom, basically. And it's just, like, running around, like, bringing them snacks and water while also throwing bombs at the fucking enemies. Like, oh, honey, here, drink this. Eat this, motherfucker! And, like, chucking grenades at the guys. It's like, oh, that would actually be really fun to roleplay.
Nice.
Here are your
And then-
cookies.
The other one was, like a rogue that is basically Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows. And not like, it's just like he pops up and you're just like, oh god, like, what are you doing? Like, he's not intentionally stealthy. It's just like he pops up and you're just like, what are you doing here?
Oh,
He's just
boy.
a guy. He's just a fucking guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice. I'm so glad
Fellas.
we were able to get this back and get it going again. I was really looking forward to it, and I'm glad we were able to navigate everything that went on, and we got it up. We got it up. Hey,
yeah.
who else got it
Patrick,
up, boys? Am I the only one who gets
You sure did.
I am fully yes.
We're gonna wrap it up now. I know you got to go, Patrick. You
I
got to
do.
work. We're doing a Sunday night.
Yep.
What I'll just say is, thanks for bearing with me through the torch
Yeah, all good.
bullshit. Just dusting off Pathfinder. It feels so good to be back. Just with the module and everything. Listeners, I hope you enjoy back being an Otari. Shout out to everyone who gives us the feedback on the Pathfinder rules. It's extremely helpful because we are gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna make mistakes as I continue to learn the system and everything. But it's good to be back. I can't wait to see where we're going. And everyone have a good week, or whenever you listen to this, have a good weekend. That is going to do it for us, unless you guys have something.
No, just take it easy. Everybody, it was good to jump back in.
Good to catch up with everybody. Love you guys.